I guess you never really expect your first Gold3nCast / spoiler type video to be about a visual novel, do you?
We make the streams louder.
But I guess some channels do revolve around that. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? It's Simeon, Simeon. Welcome to today's video. So today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about a recent game that I just finished, and I want to kind of do videos like this where I talk about games that I recently finished and just kind of discuss them and give my thoughts on them. So I recently discovered a visual novel recently. Trying to figure out when it was released. Sorry, let me just figure that out. It has no release date. Oh, it came out on September 16th, 2021. So it came out almost a year ago. And it's called Find Love or Die Trying. And basically the premise of this is you are a character on a game show that takes things to the extreme almost. This is how the starting of it goes. There's 5 girls on the island. There's you. You are kind of looking for a soulmate, and you have to try to romance them, get one of theirs approval, propose to them, and if you propose to them and they say yes, you guys get to escape. Otherwise, you die. That's the premise of the game show. However, the game itself doesn't go that way. So after you do the first set of dates or whatever, you get to the final mission where you have to choose a girl. Now, the 5 girls in the game that you get to choose from are Yui, Allie, Violet, Scarlet, and Tara. Each of them all have different things. Apparently, Yui is a girl from your high school that you actually don't remember because you have amnesia, and that does play into factors later on, which I will get to. Your character has amnesia, but Yui is a girl that you went to high school with. Scarlet is some former military scientist who experimented with a bunch of machinery. Violet is just a chef who is also the survivor. She had a twin sister who was killed in a car accident. She tells you about that. Allie is a exercise / sports freak who ironically isn't that, but is kind of forced to play that role. And Tara is a full-time streamer / content creator / programmer who just loves to play video games. So I guess you can kind of figure out which one I tried to go with down the path. Now, you have to go on dates with all of them. You can't just choose one and only go, you have to go on 3 dates with all of them. Now, you choose 2 at the start, and then when you get to the final day, all of a sudden everything goes wrong. And you're taken off to a beach where the director girl, whose name is Kat, is kind of forced to shoot you, in a way, but then you end up in a laboratory. She puts a machine on your head, and everything reverts back. Well, the whole premise of the game is that we're all trapped on this island with no way to escape, but we can get off. Well, okay, not really get off, but basically none of us have our memories. We all lost our memories. We have no idea what happened, why we're here. Well, people catch on to that, and eventually it gets to the point where we learn and try to figure out what happened. And you slowly gain your memory more and more as everything plays out. Now, in the next section, you would think, okay, I just have to redo this whole thing again. No, you have to go through, and a Cat knows about this memory thing, and she says you have to choose anyone other than your 2 main characters you chose to go with. So you have to go on dates with all of them. So you do the same thing over again with the other 3. She talks about how ratings are going through the roof, things like that. Then it cycles again. The 3rd time it cycles around where you're doing this, Kat catches on to the fact you are trying to escape. Because Scarlet knows, because Scarlet has done something where her memories aren't affected. And Allie's catching on too. So you go on your date with Scarlet, which isn't really a date, it's more of a figuring out how to return everyone's memories. Well, you figure it out. Not Scarlet, but Allie. You and Allie then figure it out. You find the secret lab hidden in the games room where Tara was hanging out. Tara knew about it, but she never actually ventured far down because it was dark and scary and she didn't want to do that. Tara also has a really weird obsession with pigeons. It's not like story break or anything, but she just has a very big obsession with pigeons. But other than that, so you do all that stuff. Right, and you then discover the laboratory, you talk to each other and things like that, and you put each other in a cage, or back in your little machines where your memories get erased, because Allie's going to reverse it on us. But it takes a lot of convincing the other girls to fall for it. Well, you do convince them because they all trust you. Now, they lost their memories, so they had no idea you were really on a dating show. They thought you were just dating them. Well, Allie gets everyone's memories back and goes, I'm going to step away for a second. She backs off. The other girls realize what's going on and beat the shit out of you. once everyone's calmed down, they start to realize it really wasn't your fault, like your character's fault. It wasn't your fault. You kind of were forced and almost brainwashed to do this. Well, you then try to think of an escape route. You're trying to think of ways you can escape, and you figure out one of them is there's an airplane. Well, you figure out your escape plan, everything's going good. Once you go to the airplane, you see Kat there, and the hangar's on fire. She purposely set it on fire. Now, during this whole story, you just have a hatred for Kat. Like, you think she sucks. Well, it turns out, when the game first starts, that is not your first time on this show. Apparently, you were on this show before, but the director, Kat, her father is the one who's doing all this, like trying to trap you, kill you, things like that. Because he's just a terrible dickhead. Kat, on the other hand, wanted to help you, and here's why. But she had to play off as being the bitch, basically. She had to play off being the terrible person because people couldn't know about what happened. Well, you learn later on, you and Kat fell in love. Kat was the director for the first time, but you fell for her and no one else on the island. So you tried to escape with her the first time and it backfired and she was forced to betray you and shoot you. So Kat catches on to your plans. Kat wants to leave too. She doesn't actually like what her father's doing and she wants out of it as well. So she figures out what you're doing and she works her hardest to basically help you guys. And it works. Like, you get on a boat, you escape, everything goes well, you go to the final ceremony, everything is going good. And then her dad catches on and basically blocks you in the island and says there's a switch in the middle. However, you need 2 producer hands. So you need his hand and Kat's hands to touch the thing. And he said, you will not get my hand as long as I'm breathing. Well, you and Kat have to go into this big stadium thing that's hidden under the mansion to try to figure it out. However, there's a bunch of weapons laying around that you can fight back with him. One weapon is real, and it has 1 bullet. That's it. He, however, has unlimited bullets, dual-wielding pistols that can shoot through the walls. So he's firing constantly at you. Near the end, he hits Kat. Or he's ready to fire at Kat, but you jump in front, you take the bullets. You aren't killed, however. He does hit you in a spot where you aren't fatally killed somehow, but it's this whole romantic, like, love scene almost of you guys are just, like, basically it seems like you're gonna die together. Like legit, you both are in each other's arms, you die. But you hand the gun to Kat. Kat gets 1 shot off and ends up killing her father. So you are able to then grab his body, her body, hit the switch, unlock everything. You would have died because the other 4 girls, or the other 5 girls, are told to stay behind. They're told to stay behind the boat. Kat and your character will just go out, you'll be right back. Well, they actually follow behind just enough that you can't see them or Kat doesn't notice them, so they're able to rescue us from the stadium. They watch the whole fight go down. So you save everyone, they save you. The next thing you're on a boat, you're in the hospital bed, you're going to survive. Now, around that time is when you find out the whole love story between you and Kat, and you realize that, holy crap, there's a lot more to this, and the game led on. Kat is not actually a terrible person, she was kind of forced to be a terrible person. And that you and Kat actually had a thing together. Well, in your dying breath, and you're probably thinking, like, this doesn't sound like a very romantic visual novel. Like, do you actually end up in a relationship at the end? You do. However, in your dying breath, you say, I love you, and then it shows all the list of girls, and you can choose what girl you say to. I chose Tara because she's a gamer, and I like gamers. My own girlfriend's a gamer, and honestly, if it comes to me, this is going to sound weird, but when it comes to me, the only kind of girl I'm able to seduce is a gamer. That sounds really weird to say, but it's just facts. So after that, you say who you want to. I said Tara. Now, everyone kind of talks, says, we're glad you're okay. Kat's in the other room. She's healing. We're okay, too. You're lying there, and you're going, I thought I was dead. How did you guys get me in time? That's when they admit, they've just been following you the whole time. They're just following you. Like, that's it. They're not doing anything else. They're following you. And afterwards, everybody leaves, things like that. You get up out of your thing to go get a bite to eat. You go to the cafe, and that's where you meet the girl that you said you loved before. So Tara. And I started talking with her again, and then you and Tara decide to date. The rest of you, everyone else in the group just becomes good friends. You become friends. You laugh about the crap that happened. You talk about it all. But in the end, you choose to date the person that you wanted to. So it is, in the end, you do find love. You don't, well, you almost die trying, but in the end, you do find love. And ironically, the background music that's playing is the end. This is Terra's theme. I've been having the whole soundtrack play. There's only like 6 songs in the whole soundtrack, but Terra honestly is like the best character in the whole game. She doesn't have like the most personality per se, but she's just one I relate to the most because, you know, gamer. But honestly, and ironically, this might seem weird, but like these kind of games have gotten me into visual novels. I've played this, I've played Language of Love, I've played Song of Memories. And Song of Memories is probably my number 1. This is definitely a number 2 though. Like Language of Love is alright, but there was no real, that was more of an actual like novel. You're just reading it. There's nothing really, there's no choices you get in that game. This game you have choices. Like in the one scene, like I said previous, where like Kat basically takes the gun and shoots her own father, you actually have the choice of giving the gun to her, or Kat understands if you hate her because of how much she betrayed you, that you can just straight up shoot her. Because her dad says if you shoot, like her dad's like, yeah, you want to get out alive? Shoot Kat. Or Kat wants to get out alive? Shoot Steven. You know, like you get to choose. And it's, yeah. It was honestly like, the game was just phenomenal, okay? I basically have spoiled what the whole novel is, but if you do want to give it a try for yourself, maybe try all the different options, because like there is multiple, I think there's multiple endings. It is possible to get a bad ending in this game. I don't know what it is though, but it is possible. Basically, guys, it's free. It's free on Steam. If I remember correctly. I believe I got it for free. It is, yeah, it's just one of those visual novels you get that is free on Steam. I definitely recommend it though. Honestly, like it's a really good read. It got me pretty emotional at some points. All I'm known for that. But that's besides the point. Anyways, that will do it for me in today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, definitely go check it out. I'm going to do more of these kind of videos where I talk about games that I've recently finished. So I might even talk about the other visual novels like Song of Memories and Language of Love. Even though Song of Memories, I believe I finished like last year. Same with Language of Love. I finished it like last year or 2 years ago. But that's besides the point. But anyway, guys, like honestly, anyway, everyone, I recommend you play Language of Love. I recommend you play too, but I recommend you play Find Love or Die Trying. It is a phenomenal game. It's a really, really good visual novel. The only kind of novels I read, basically. I'm not one for reading books. So, but anyway, guys. Anyway, everyone, that will do it for me in today's video. You are all awesome. You're all amazing. Love and care for you all. These are going to be more of kind of like a weekly thing. Not really like where I spoil a game, but these kind of like podcast things where I sit down, tell you guys about the games I've been playing throughout the week and things that I just look forward to and things like that. I want to try to do this as more of a weekly thing. But anyway, that's going to do me in today's video. Thanks for watching. My name's Gold. I'll see you all in the next one. Love and care for you all. Peace out.